Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gwen Vaughn.
Welcome to the show, Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Vaughn.
Hey, that's
talking
me.
to you about, unfortunately, again, respiratory viruses.
We're not done with those? Oh, my.
Yeah, can you believe that? We're still talking about respiratory viruses. So this time we're talking about, that's really loud.
Yeah, it is really loud.
We're talking about the two we've been talking about, both influenza.
My sound. There we go. Good night.
Influenza.
I know how to work a phone.
He did get invited, really. Both Lindsay Antwine likes looking at him. What can I say? Speaking of Lindsay Antwine, we need to go to our chat and see if anybody's here yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
So when you guys get here, we will start responding to your chat about the respiratory viruses here this summer.
Summer respiratory. Yeah, and I've seen, like, even the ones that show up negative on our COVID and RSV flu test. We're seeing a lot of summer viruses.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have seen that, we'll say it again, COVID-19 had two peaks in the last 12 months and then just recently had a trough in the late spring.
Right.
Is
starting to come back up.
I guess I should do it for the
does.
screen. It's coming back up. Yeah, it is. So, sorry. Where are the bearers of bad news? Not so much influenza A and B, although there's an H1N5. Is that it? H1N5.
Something like that. That sounds right.
Is the one that's being watched by the CDC in mostly Texas, but it's spread to a lot of other cattle states.
Cows.
They're concerned about finding it in cattle. It's also been in cats, domestic cats. They think that's how it got to one farm, is through cats.
Cats.
Because it was isolating itself. It wasn't having workers from other ranches. They weren't having equipment shared with other ranches. How did we get this? Well,
it was a cat that went from one to another. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, the cows, they have these monitors. They put them around their necks, and they monitor different physiologic parameters. And they found that, like, within just a few hours, significant changes in their health. And they did all these studies trying to figure out what it was. Typically, they won't check for H1N5 influenza, which, except for now in the last few months, is not something you really expect to find in cattle. It's not what you would go looking for. They'd look for all sorts of other stuff. So they were taking them apart and studying their glands. And
so this is not a bird flu, it's a cow flu.
Well, it is bird flu, yeah.
Bird flu in cows.
Yeah. So they're blaming it on migratory
cats.
birds, geese.
With cats.
And then it gets into
Somehow
local
playing.
birds, cowbirds.
It's like Animal Farm here, man.
It is an animal farm, yes. And they infect the cows. And apparently it's okay to use the milk and the meat from these cows.
That's good to know that you're not going to get sick by
But it has transmitted to a farm worker one time.
Okay.
He had a running, I'm sorry, it was his eye. He had a draining eye or an irritated eye for
nothing
a day
like
or so. And that's
scary respiratory illness going to pneumonia or anything.
And no other people got it from him that we know of. So one transmission of
two humans.
Bird flu in a cow to a human. So here's the big deal. Oh my goodness, our chat is just going crazy. So let's address the chat, and I'll tell you why it's a big deal. Why is it a big deal? We'll get to that.
On the edge of my seat.
On the edge of my seat. That reminds me of patients with Crohn's. So let's go back to our chat, and we will go to see who's here with Lindsay Antwine. Yes, thank you, Lindsay. We were just talking nonsense until we were sure you were here to make sure that you were a part of the show. Thank you. And then after Lindsay, of course, Laura is here too, Laura Barzyk. Should I try to guess where Laura Barzyk is?
Sure.
Okay, Laura, you're in Chicago. And if she's in Chicago, then it's who's in England?
In England? Well, we know that.
Okay, I'll get back to it. It'll come to me. So Lindsay's, of course, greeting Laura, and Laura's greeting Lindsay, and
somebody's down in Australia.
Is here also. That's somebody from Adelaide.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then Lindsay's always lurking. And Bianca. Yes, Bianca's in England.
Bianca.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
There we go. We got it. Okay. Thank you. I know where my viewers are in Hildebauer. So we're getting back to, so why does it matter? Why does it matter, Dr. Wayne?
Oh.
Why does it matter?
Why does it matter?
That this virus got into a guy and give him an irritated eye for a day or so? Why? Why are we even talking about this?
I'm thinking because it can combine with other things to create something more severe.
Combine? Really?
Yeah, those little H1s and N numbers, they switch up all the time. Or am I way off base?
My understanding is the concern is mutations that make it more virulent.
Yeah.
The H1N5.
I just remember H1N1 from like, what was that?
That was way
15
back.
years ago?
That was way back. And it was still in the annual flu vaccines for years.
Yeah, I remember that.
Still be. I don't remember what the ones were that were in it most recently. But this, so it would be a strain that could go to humans, and anytime you can get a new strain, the concern is it could be, a very mutated. When you get it from another species, interspecies transmission of influenza or anything else. So that's why they talk about the bird flu epidemic of 1917. Anyway, World War I.
Yeah, the last time we had the flu.
And swine flu.
Swine.
Why do we name flus after
Cow
the
flu?
birds they come from?
Bird?
Because oftentimes
Swine?
when that first step is taken from another species into humans, it hits us really hard. We've not seen it. Our bodies don't have defenses against it, and it can be very virulent. Thankfully, this one bird flu. And why do we call it bird flu if it went from a cow to a human? Because it came from a bird to the cow.
So originally came
recently.
from a bird.
Yeah, recent enough we can trace it to the birds. Okay, back to. Oh my goodness!
Now
Did
there
you see
was.
This? Look at
Whoa,
that,
hey.
Laura. Is that because I remembered you from the Chicago area? Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That will keep us supplied with Dutch Brothers and
Caffeinated.
equipment for things like this show, and I don't know, maybe we'll use these mics for recording songs on Spotify, Dr. Von, whatever. You haven't recorded your song yet.
I have a song.
I do have a second song.
Grunge
for those
song.
who follow Dr. Von on
Screamo.
Oh, speaking of Dr. Von on the for those who have been looking for my song and can't find it, this is how you write Dr. Von.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
All letters.
Or
Not DR. Doctor.
or like this.
Which is the same thing.
It's the same thing. I keep showing it, but people keep looking for it, not finding it. They put a space between Dr. and Von, or they put DR period. So sorry, excuse me for the little interruption there.
Yeah.
That's what that was all about. Okay, Laura,
So,
back to our audience that's participating in the show. You too can participate, and again, thank you, Laura Barzyk, for the super chat.
yes, thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
We will make use of that. Thank you, Lindsay. Are these called zoonotic illnesses?
Zoonotic.
Ooh,
Big word.
wow! Vocabulary corner. So yes, zoonotic.
It comes from animals.
So zoo or zo,
Zoo.
animal, a zoological.
That's where they
zoological
house animals.
Zoological garden is where they keep different animals, and people shorten it to just ZOO or zoo. There's also the study of zoology, which is again the study of animals. ZO for animals and ology for study of. So that's why we pronounce it zoonotic, not zoonotic.
Oh, so much. Zoonotic sounds almost hypnotic. No.
Almost. And Lindsay's got a little sideware bar here. I absolutely want to hear how Dr. G's meeting.
That's right.
Did you tell them you were doing that?
Which one we talked about last week? Last week our show was fully on like the cell phones in schools. Were you here?
Oh, that meeting that you had last week. Oh, that.
I had another meeting too. Yes, you're right. That one was a little different.
How'd your meeting go? For update on cell phones in the classroom.
Yeah, so it's
classroom in high school
Tuesday night. Had to wait through all the
through all the people with the pickets.
yeah, right.
Because they knew what you were going to say.
No, actually, I think it went really well. I had to wait till the end of the meeting, because that's where they have their public comments, and kind of went up and had 3 minutes. It's intimidating to see that little 3-minute timer countdown as you're trying to go through all these points that I laid out. But I think it went well.
At 2:57, did you say your days are numbered?
You guys better adopt this. No, but afterwards the superintendent actually came up to me, and we had a nice little conversation. Dr. Tooker's his name, and he kind of said, yeah, this is something we're looking into. They've been having conversations with the teachers, trying to come up with something that is more formal and universal. And he kind of teased the idea that there may even be something at the state level. We're in California, so this is something that our governor may be taking on as well. He kind of teased that idea. But we talked a little bit about this. We think it may be better, at least in our area, which is a little more conservative, to come more from the board level, the AUSD.
Either way,
BUSD.
there will be parental resistance. We can just predict.
Yeah, I think I laid it out in a way that was reasonable. I addressed those concerns, the communication concerns, if there's an emergency, if there was a way you needed to contact your kid, student. And I think it was well received. The other parents that were there seemed to, I didn't hear any
No picket signs.
No picket signs. I did not get anything thrown at me afterwards. No tomatoes.
Octopus.
Octopus?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of hockey.
Wow. Does that happen? But yeah, it went well. Thanks for checking in.
Yes. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that Dr. Jeffrey Tooker? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's his name.
Laura, I downloaded Spotify, so I'm going for... Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Laura.
you made someone download Spotify.
Whoa. Not only does she super chat, she also downloads Spotify so she can listen to Dr. Vaughn. Dr. Vaughn's
have
song.
like Spotify as a sponsor.
Man, maybe like the next thing she'll do is make a playlist of songs that reminds her of, and put it in with them to tell Spotify that this is what kind of song this is. Maybe.
My son discovered how to make playlists on Spotify. So
what are in his playlist?
Everything. So essentially, he's like, I just have a playlist for every song I've heard and enjoy. So it's like,
how long is this playlist?
200 songs long.
Takes days to get through.
Yeah, it's forever. But classics. He is well cultured. We've got classic 80s rock in there. We've got Metallica. We've got bands that I listen to, like 21 Pilots, and some of the older, it'd be, I guess, early aughts, like Christian music that it reminds me of my high school and college days.
I don't know the difference between Stone Temple Pilots and 21 Pilots.
Completely different bands.
Does anybody else have the same problem I have? I should just say men. People of a certain age. Don't know the difference between Stone Temple Pilots.
It's that Pilots band, And
what, I've already forgot the name.
21 Pilots.
21. I was going to say one pilot too many?
Yeah. One pilot too many.
21.
Nope, not that one.
Okay, 21 Pilots. That comes from...
it was from a poem written by somebody about...
the atomic bomb?
I don't think so.
No.
It was a war thing, I believe.
Okay.
But anyways.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to get caught up on our comments. This is a good show.
Now that we have completely derailed here.
Yeah, but I think we said most of what
but in a good way.
We can get back to respiratory viruses.
This is how we derail.
Maybe. I don't know.
When we're talking about music, it's a good derailment.
I'm actually more interested in this. Okay. Yeah, Bianca is in England. Yeah, okay, we covered that. I'm so behind.
Catch up.
Okay, this is actually a relevant thing here. Hilda Bauer,
Yep.
Are there really no meds to treat a virus? Dr. Wayne.
Depends on the virus. That would be my answer. So we do have some viruses that we do have medications that can treat them. The good example of that would be like oral herpes or like cold sores, where Valtrex...
Or genital herpes for that
Or
matter.
genital herpes, you're right.
Or shingles.
Where Valtrex works well for that. Valtrex works good for just about every herpes virus, which
Chickenpox?
shingles is a herpes-type virus. Chickenpox is a herpes-type virus.
Same one.
We have antiretrovirals, which is kind of its own category separate from that,
Like for
where we
HIV.
treat HIV. And it's mostly, it doesn't cure it, but it does a really good job of keeping numbers down. So low that
Protease
it's-
inhibitors.
Yeah, and there are a couple different classes within that. And then we have some that are more specific for some more like viral meningitis type things. We have some things that can treat that. CMV, I think Encyclovir treats that.
It's one that starts
those
with an
more.
R for influenza.
Remdesivir, which is that remdesivir or ritonavir? No, that's for HIV.
One for HIV.
Tamiflu for the common.
Tamiflu, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
I think
What's
the generic
other
starts
name
with an
for it?
R. Doesn't
It's
it?
not remdesivir. Remdesivir was for COVID.
Ritonavir?
Ritonavir? No.
Anyway.
Anyways, we do. So
Tamiflu for influenza.
But for general, let's just say, garden variety, cold, where there are literally hundreds of viruses out there that can cause that, we do not have specific treatments like antibiotics that will kill specific bacteria. We do not. And actually, the body has great defenses through its immunologic system with T cells and how they fight these things off, that it works. Your body does a really good job fighting this off, and it does its job. It just takes a little time. But then again, antibiotics take time too. And antibiotics are going to do nothing for a virus if that is what we're fighting.
Paxlovid for
Paxlovid. Hey, you keep coming up with these.
COVID-19.
Look at that.
So
We've got a lot of
at this-
antivirals.
I was going to say, at this point,
We've got quite a few,
I
actually.
don't know that we should really talk about antibiotics for bacteria and antivirals for viruses differently anymore.
Probably not. We've got enough, huh? And then we've got antiparasitic agents as
For
well.
parasites.
We don't see those as much in the developed countries, but if you travel somewhere or you get, an amoeba or something
Yeah,
causing
so-
diarrhea, we treat those with
We've
antiparasitic.
got some that we use for head lice, some that we use for
Head lice, giardia.
what's the one
what are
between
some
the
other
fingers?
ones?
Has the little burrows between the fingers.
Scabies.
There we
Yeah.
go. All right. Back to your comments and questions.
Hey, there you go.
Lindsay's saying,
Great
I have
question.
to lean forward to readers. It was AI Avatar, Dr. Mark, at the show last week, LOL. AI
last week?
Avatar, Mark.
I thought it was here last week.
AI Avatar.
I was last year. That was the one before.
AI Avatar, Mark. Please
Oh,
send
she's
your
saying
sons-
that you were here, but it wasn't you.
Oh, she's saying it without really me. She wants Micah's playlist.
Oh, nice.
All right.
That would
this
give
one's
you
for me.
a lot of insight into how we rear our child and his
Dr. Mark,
musical
I will
taste.
send you an essay breaking down the differences in those two. Actually, I would read
The
that.
pilots.
I would read that. The pilot spans.
The
Thank
pilot
you,
spans
Lindsay.
and
I
how to
appreciate
differentiate
that. Okay.
them.
So we got through that. Excellent. That's what I wanted to get through today.
That's great.
What's the difference between 21 pilots and Stone Temple pilots?
There you go.
One's STP, the other one's
21P.
or 21. Okay. Anything else you want to throw out there about respiratory viruses right now, other than the?
Oh, not much about that. They're around there. I mean, we're seeing them. I just saw
Yeah.
a lady today who had, a respiratory illness that, all our tests were negative, so no flu, no COVID, no RSV, but it was still just, all respiratory stuff.
I saw Leo Kottke last night in concert, and I heard coughing. In fact, he was coughing. He's up there with his guitar coughing,
While he's
saying that he's sick. Yeah, but he still played.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coughing at us, spewing viral virons.
Yeah. So
So-
we know singing really
Yeah, I know. I'm
expresses
glad I
those
wasn't in the
particles.
front row.
Really
Poor
expresses
front row
those.
people. So, how do we want to end?
Today is an important day. This is how we need to end. Because
I
today
had something over here.
is my anniversary.
Happy 30.
Yay! 30.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's us.
That's you. 18th. Yeah, it's our 18th anniversary. So our marriage can now legally buy cigarettes.
You're married. I know that Lindsay Antwine knows what the joke I was going to make on that one. Absolutely. Okay, where's the super chat? I was going to put it up as.
It was Laura.
Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is. That's how we want to end the
show
show.
them as a. Doesn't, because here it's nice and big and red on the.
I know.
on
I
the
know.
video.
I know.
You
Well,
see
that's
it.
big
That's
red there. But just over here,
Sparkles that nice
Okay,
cold
so-
plate.
it's not. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
to you
I'll
and your
be
bride.
Going out.
And thank you, everybody, for helping with the music as we talk about viruses. No, don't know if there's going to be a show next week. May not be a show next week. That may be.
Oh,
one
you may
of them.
not be here, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's right, because you're going to be out of town.
That could happen.
I'm
so
leaving
be
for the
prepared.
second half
I
of the week.
know it's going to be hard to get through this time.
Early June.
We will get through it.
It's 4th of July.
Okay. Until next time.
I'm Dr. Dwayne Vaughn.
Thanks to the help of Lindsay Antoine. I'm Dr.
And Laura Barzyk.
And Laura Barzyk, telling you to stay in good health.